Imagine a city shattered from above, yet somehow the true heartbeat of London beats underground. During the Blitz, when German bombs rained nightly on London, thousands descended into the city's old tube stations, transforming them from mere railway tunnels into havens of survival. Families stacked together on concrete platforms, clutching tickets to reserve their precious spots. Each night, as the sirens wailed, mothers gathered children and hurried into the bowels of the city, where the screech of trains was replaced by the thunder of bombs. No one slept well. Imagine trying to rest with hundreds of strangers, the ground trembling, dust falling from the ceiling at every explosion. Cardboard boxes and thin blankets became beds. Suitcases doubled as pillows. The air was thick, stale from bodies packed wall to wall, but laced with the faint comfort of tea passed among neighbors. Yet, even in this darkness, life persisted. Volunteers set up libraries. Rows of borrowed books became a lifeline for restless minds. Some stations held concerts, impromptu performances echoing off tile and steel, momentarily drowning out the chaos above. Children played games between the rails, laughter mingling with the rumble of distant detonations. On rare quiet nights, the underground world felt almost normal. A city beneath a city, growing its own rhythms, its own rules. Posters reminded everyone, polish your shoes and brush your teeth. Order mattered, even when the world above was in chaos. Local ARP wardens gave out cocoa, told stories, organized sing-alongs to keep spirits high. Not all was comforting. The fear of direct hits was constant. Balham Station, October 1940, struck by a bomb, water and debris, killing nearly 70. But those horrors didn't empty the platforms. If anything, more came the next night, believing the earth itself offered better odds than the roofs above. The authorities initially discouraged people from sheltering in the tubes, fearing disease and disorder. But soon, the government relented, even adapting stations with bunk beds, toilets, canteens, acknowledging the underground city's stubborn resilience. Life didn't pause. Babies were born under flickering lights, marriages whispered in corners, letters written home by candlelight. News was passed from mouth to mouth. Each day's survival, another act of defiance. After the raids, families would emerge, bleary-eyed, brushing dust from their clothes, determined to press on with another day and another night to come. The London Underground, built to connect a city, became its sanctuary. A shared womb from which hope was stubbornly, night after night, reborn. Next time you step onto a tube platform, pause and listen for the echoes of children's laughter, the songs sung to chase away fear, the quiet courage muffled in tunnels beneath the bombs. What would you have carried into the dark, knowing your life could depend on what fit in a single bag? The answers lie hidden, deeper than the tracks. And history is always just one more story away.